Benevolence, fam. It's love every time. I'm David Dimitri, and we are live in color. Oh, yeah. Dropping the vibrational current, staying current, as they say in the Caribbean, staying current, as they say in Africa, staying current, as they say in Compton, staying current, as they say in the Bay, staying current, as they say in the city of San Bernardino. I am staying current, fucking up your waves, dropping the jewels, because that's what I do. Oh yeah, don't trip. Manifest, because that's what we need to do, and hopefully everything is vibes and great and good to the good high energy, and to the top to the titty, the top for you, and all that is good for you and your loved ones and your loved ones and your loved ones. Hopefully everything is good because I'm your loved one. Oh yeah, the energy is nice. Let's keep it good. We happy here in Southern California because it ain't that brutal heat has calmed down, at least for now, but y'all know how it comes back. But not events. It's love every time. I'm David Dimitri, and we are live in color. That's right, live in color on YouTube.com. Check with me on David Dimitri live in color. That's the YouTube.com. And the other YouTube, the more serious political and health YouTube focus, is O.W.U. That's right, go to YouTube, O.W.U, the acronym. It says O.W.U, and it says one, and it says Original World Union. Oh, the Original World Union. YouTube page, YouTube channel is live right now with me here. David Dimitri live in color, YouTube channel, David Dimitri live in color, like the sign says behind me. So this is what we're doing right now. We're going to cover a couple of things. It ain't redundant by myself. We got to keep it real. We just got to drop a couple of different efforts, different consciousness streams, different realities, because we're metaphysical. We drop metaphysical consciousness. That's what we do, because we are in a time of contention on this planet. Regardless of what type of consciousness you have and spirituality you try to represent, and what energy you put out in vibration, the world is in contention. You can pray all you want. You can quit. You can fight. You can hope. You can wish. But the world is in contention. You're always going to have conflict. And that's why we got to talk about spiritual matters. We have to be psycho-spiritual in our analysis of reality. We also have to be down-to-earth, good common sense in our analysis of reality. We also have to be metaphysical, quantum physical in our assessment of reality. If you want to make it to the next level, you can't be like these sundown towners or these ghetto people, which is two sides of a pole, so-called each other's opposites, but both, when you talk about and you stereotype, you see those sundown town hicks are ignorant. They are ignorance addicts, as I call them. I'm gonna have to get up in a minute and turn this light down. I just had some things to do, so I just threw this up real quick because I have a very important financial appointment. Y'all give that good energy out for me so I could get this funded, so that we could do live in color back at the studio like I used to do when I had my studio back in the days. Hold on just a second. But I'm going to keep talking because I can keep talking. You see how I picked that mic up? Y'all like that, So, what we're going to discuss right now is a couple of things. Because that's how conversations really are. I mean, you stay on point, you get through one point, and you jump on another. And so, this is a conversation. You can call in. That's the number, 909-446-2388. It's 909-446-2388. That's right. It's funny how I don't even know my own number. Well, that's one of my numbers. That's for this. We're going to deal with Connex. There's Connex out here. There's Connery. And we're also going to deal with the illusion of inclusion. So we're going to deal with current events in the Connex right now, which y'all all expect of me because I have that 2024 Harris and Donald Trump up as usual since it has started, is because I have to. That's vitally important to the future of the world, not just this country. The outcome of that is going to determine some crazy stuff. Do y'all know? I don't know who y'all follow. I don't know who y'all follow. I don't know if y'all follow. But do y'all follow like some of these Donald Trump social media or big time alternative media channels that are going to these sundown towns, going to these Donald Trump events, and that are do you see the things that people are saying? We got our guns. We got our guns. They talking like how they try to stereotype black dudes in the hood talk. They try to stereotype, act like black men and black women or black gangbangers in the hood always talking about guns and stuff. That's how these grown 50-year-old, 60, 40, 35, 25-year-old men and women are talking at Donald Trump's events. Now, I'm a political atheist. Any of you that know me, I am a political atheist. Okay? So when I say I don't have a side, it doesn't mean I'm not involved and I'm not acknowledging. It doesn't mean political atheism is in no way a means of escapism. We must be responsible, and we have to deal with the potentials and how they affect us as political atheists. So we have to be involved in politics to a degree, but you have to focus on your own politics that actually directly affect you, because you can't control that. You can't reflect. Well, that's why you buy my book, The Art of Political Atheism. You learn all this. But what I want to point out, and don't forget, you can call in. That's the number right there. Is that these people are talking like monsters. Now, I have a guest on. He's a routine guest. You've seen him, Mr. Nadeed. He's a MAGA. He's a Trumper. I also have another guest on that's a staunch historical Democrat. He's a statesman. He's an elder. He's a military veteran. He saw combat, etc. This man has been in the military almost all his adult life. And he's a Democrat, and he's against Trump. He hates Trump. He hates MAGA and all that. So that happens. That's called polarization, like I was saying earlier, being metaphysical speaking. But what I want to point out is these people are talking about killing. That if they steal, this is their term. I'm quoting and somewhat quoting and somewhat paraphrasing, but these people are talking madness. They're talking about like, as long as Trump loses, it's been stolen, it's going to be the worst, and it's time for war and killing. That's exactly what these people at these MAGA rallies, whether Trump is going to be at the rally or not, these MAGA events, and it's right there on YouTube. It's right there on YouTube. Young Turks go in, different big time alternative media are going in interviewing these people. You understand? And they're and it's right there in front of your face. It's right there in front of your face. I'm sorry, I'm gonna put this here. I want to make sure that I'm being heard properly. But only reason I'm bringing it up, because we're not just going to talk about that, is because you have to understand what that's doing. What that's telling us is that danger is here. In other words, we're going to threaten people to be scared to vote for the Democrats and Harris. I'm not a Democrat. I hate a lot, not dislike, but I hate a lot of the shit that the Democrats are doing. I have no interest in seeing a Kamala Harris as a president at all in any form or fashion. Nothing personal. I'm just not feeling the record. really don't want to see a Democratic presidency. Really don't want to see a Neon Khan or a Donald Trump presidency. I feel I'm being robbed. I might not vote. But you don't hear Democrat people threatening second civil war. If Kamala loses, very few Democrats are going to say it was stolen. It's a fraud. But what's clear is, just like the neocons, this current Republican generation are uncode completely with their beat shit. No matter, they can do no wrong. They're white, so they're right. They're right, R-I-G-H-T, so they're right. They're white, W-H-I-T-E, so they're right. I'll repeat that. What I'm seeing, I'm a political atheist. I'm on neither side. With all these threats of second civil war, we're going to pick up arms. We have all the guns. We're going to do this and this. This is big old fat, super thin, heroin addict ass sundown towns from Big Springs, Texas, down there in outside of Jacksonville, Florida, West Virginia, Kentucky, okay? All of these states with all these cutthroat WS missed. They are right, R-I-G-H-T, the right wingers, so they're right. They are white, W-H-I-T-E, so they're right. And this is what's fucking retarded. Retardation happens generationally when people, due to poverty and all the curse, the suffering and the indignant of poverty. And so you have these terms that were shoved harshly on poorer Americans, and specifically and mainly what's historically known as Black Americans, now termed foundational Black Americans. And so it's asinine, but it's karma that it's coming back on to.
How do you decrease your jealousy with others?
It's coming back on the public. Don't be mad at those that were right were the ones you were saying were wrong. That's witchcraft. That's witchcraft for you to be calling people. This is your karma. You have your thoughts. Look at the graph. I put it over my face on purpose. Look where my face was. Look at the graph. Karma. Karma is up on that group of people in these sundown towns and throughout the United States. This same family and group of people, millions of Americans, that were the people that went around the country in the 1600s and the 1700s, genociding people that had dark-skinned melanin for no reason but that, and to take their lands, poison them purposely with acts of chemical warfare, putting smallpox in their foods, in their water, and in their clothing that they forced them to wear and eat. Took their lands, had them walk during freezing cold times, so many of the populations of these dark-skinned original Native Americans were killed off, raping the women, reproducing another color, a lighter mixed color, instead of being dark-skinned like the original color they were. Did a mess and a hell of a job. And my point is, these same people are jealous They're getting their karma, and they say we're gonna pick up arms now. There's no other explanation to this. There's no other rationality. It's mind bending. They're threatening. If you follow all these YouTubes, it's right here. And these are white American ran YouTubes going interviewing these people at these events. It's karma. We talk about karma, but we don't ever think about karma on the sense of it coming on whole groups of people. Look at that. Thoughts at the bottom, actions, habits, character, destiny, all of that together fuses, and it will be the experience that you experience in the future that you create. You have to balance that. It was a terrible injustice for hundreds of years that established the United States of America. You understand? Karma. So we have these people threatening. I just wanted to point that I don't think I want to put up any videos about it. I have one I was gonna play. I'm not gonna do it. I don't have much time. I'm trying to just stand here an hour in by 1 o'clock. I have an appointment. It's gonna be a great financial opportunity. Let's look at a video of young Donald Trump, and this is the person that these crazies want to support. And like I said, I'm a political atheist, so I see good and bad in everyone. That's just my scientific thought. But if a human being is all good, of course. But these political people are a mess. Let's look at this video and listen. So, again, this is what they're threatening. The shit hitting the fan is, you see it blinking on and off? This is what the Donald Trump people, supporters, are threatening at these events. So apparently that's part of the Donald Trump MAGA culture, that we're going to pick up arms and kill other Americans because they don't vote, because Donald Trump didn't get pronounced the winner. So that's called the shit hit the fan, if you don't know what SHTF is. The survival guides. Should you be prepping? Hell yeah, you should be prepping. And I'm not just talking about your Second Amendment rights. You need to be prepping the way you eat, because if that shit really hit off, you, me, and everyone gonna have a problem with getting water and food and sustaining life. You know, people are worried about other things, but there's bigger things to worry about. And this is a look into who Donald Trump is. This is him for himself.
A well-educated black has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white in terms of the job market. And I think sometimes a black may think that they don't really have the advantage. A well-educated black has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white in terms of the job market. And I think sometimes a black may think...
Oh, okay, I see. Don't worry, I'll run that. I'll run that. I wasn't even gonna run it. That was the one I was not going to run. But hold on just a second, everyone. It's just
a well-educated black has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white in terms of the job market. And I think sometimes a black may think that they don't really have the advantage or this or that, but in fact, a well-educated black has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white in terms of the job market. And I think sometimes a black may think that they don't really have the advantage. A well-educated...
That requires you to look at who he was. So, I'm sorry about that. It's an issue going on. But anyway, my point is, if there's any time that you need to be ready, whoever it is, I'm putting it out there that you're not living in the normal times in the United States of America. You're living in a contentious times. I mean, the United States of America has always been contentious, but what I'm saying is, with other things going on, it's extremely, extremely dangerous. So now I'm going to go ahead and play that for you, but I didn't want to make a certain change I had to make to play that for you? If there's any time that you need to be ready, right, here we go. I'm putting it out there that you're not living in the normal times in the United States of America. You're living in a contentious times. I mean, the United States of America always been contentious, but what I'm saying is, with other things going on, it's extremely, extremely dangerous. So now I'm gonna go ahead and play that for you, but I didn't want to make a certain change I had to make to play that for you. If there's any time that you need to be ready, right, here we go.
A well-educated black has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white in terms of the job market. And I think sometimes a black may think that they don't really have the advantage or this or that, but in actuality, today, currently, it's a great, I've said on occasion, even about myself, if I were starting off today, I would love to be a well-educated black because I really believe they do have an actual advantage today.
Are y'all okay with what y'all just heard? Do y'all realize what Donald Trump is crazy? He's always been fucking crazy. How in the fuck can a white supremacist society have black people, black men, as a majority, having the advantage? These are the poorest people in the country and one of the smallest groups of the entire country. 13% at best. That's at best is the entirety of African Americans. African Americans are majority of female. It's like probably 40 to 50% all female. You're not black Americans. I would say 50 to 60% all female. And you're telling me that Donald Trump was telling the world that black Americans, not only black American men had more advantage than them, more privilege and more opportunities, but that he would want to be born one. This is Donald Trump saying this in the damn 80s. Now you go back a couple of years before that, Donald Trump paid $50,000, the equivalent, to get high-end news reports after a white woman was raped by white men. But the cops wanted to cover it up, so they blamed all these young black men. It was in Central Park in New York. They blamed these young kids, these teenagers, preteens. Donald Trump goes on a rampage and start renting all this space in media, saying that we need to kill them, we need to kill all of them. You need to put them all in prison. And so put black people in slavery is what Donald Trump. Now, remember Donald Trump was a Democrat. And remember it was Democrats that had more access to him. So it was Democrats influencing him heavily to think like this. Oh, yeah. Y'all getting dealt with today.
What we're doing is I'm telling fish that they live in water. There's a young fish and an old fish, and the old fish says, "Hey boy, how's the water today?" And the young fish says, "What's water?"
Water.
Why? A fish spends its whole life immersed in water.
Y'all do know y'all in water, right? You're in the United States of America. Fucking crazy. I don't even know if y'all know how fucking crazy Donald Trump been sounding. And I don't give a fuck whether you are a damn Democrat, left, moderate, if you're independent, conservative, moderate, if you are a Republican, moderate, right-winger. I'm a political atheist. I will follow your ass. I don't give a fuck if you're a professional attorney, lawyer, administrator. I don't give a fuck if you're in a political class, citizen class, intelligence agency. Intelligence community, military, I will father your ass at this shit. It's asinine. It is asinine what's going on in the United States. The United States government got the nerve to only offer Kamala Harris, who? And Donald Trump. That's what they have to offer you. And y'all in a panic trying to fight against each other over that shit. So let's look at this same man, Donald Trump. Nope. We're going to circle back to Donald Trump. I had enough of it myself. Damn. It's bullshit. Let's look at P. Diddy being arrested. Why? Because we need to deal with the reality of that. I talked just the other day about that, but we're going to talk a little bit more about it. The federal got their case, just arrested P. Diddy. He's in actual jail right now, whatnot. But there's more to it, and I'm going to share something with y'all. I think y'all need to know about it. You do. So I'm going to share something with you.
Did that for a long time. He did that shit. He guilty as fuck.
And Jay-Z out the way so he can run it. And the truth is, I ain't mad at him. I just don't trust him.
Just arrested P. Diddy. He's in actual jail right now, whatnot. But there's more to it, and I'm gonna share something with y'all. I think y'all need to know about it. You do. So I'm gonna share something with you.
Did that for a long time. He did that shit. He guilty as fuck.
And Jay-Z out the way so he can run it. And the truth is, I ain't mad at him. I just don't trust him.
He guilty as fuck.
Because the truth is, he would just be another kind of monster. And the truth is, in another kind of way. He don't want things to change. He just want to be the one that's running it. See? Easiest thing to do is to take your enemy's feet and hold them to the fire for things you know that they won't admit. Which is why when that C and D came out, he took all of that Diddy shit down.
Did that for a long time. He did that shit. He guilty as fuck.
What is it with all of these pretenders? He can run it. And now they got an even bigger one named Curtis Jackson.
He guilty as fuck.
Because the truth is, they should check the EPA report and the toxic waste he's been allowing to be dumped around the property of Millennium Studios. See? For cheap cash. Easiest thing to do. And I'm not saying allegedly, Curtis. I know what you've been doing. Hold them to the fire. You don't get no about what happens to those people in that town, but I do. He took all of that Diddy shit down. I love the people in that town.
He did that shit. Guilty as fuck.
I just wonder how you like that man I sent you. And now they got it because he really didn't think you was gonna go for him. Better do right by Shreveport, or I will let everybody know that Diddy do-wop bop ain't even taste you. Of Millennium Studios. See? For cheap cash. Easiest thing to do. And I'm not saying allegedly, Curtis. I know what you've been doing. Hold them to the fire. You don't get no about what happens to those people in that town, but I do. He took all of that Diddy shit down. I love the people in that town.
He did that shit. Guilty as fuck.
I just wonder how you like that man I sent you. And now they got it because he really didn't think you was gonna go for him. Better be right by you.
Damn. That's crazy. Straight crazy. So, as you see, there's top head devils at each other's neck, hoping to bring each other down. It's prototypical in this entertainment industry shit. So, I'm going to have to run that back. I'm going to have to run it back properly. I had things to do. Why, my goodness. Do y'all really understand what's going on with that P. Diddy shit? Y'all really know the potential of where that could be going? You understand? You know what I'm saying? Like, that dude's the Jeffrey Epstein. He always has been. But now we're seeing that 50 Cent is involved in it because it's the game of blackmail going on. And that's the whole play that Puff Daddy has. P. Diddy, whatever, Sean. So, not Sean Carter. Sean Carter is Jay-Z. Sean Puffy Young. Why are they Sean? Why are they Sean? This So anyway, it's just I can't even get excited about this shit. It's real crazy what's going on. Because like I said the other day, everybody already knew what that dude, Sean Puffy Combs or whatever you want to call him, was about and what he was doing, always about bussy, running and chasing after some bussy, and then snapping and flipping out on the women that he with, instigating beefs. Supposed to had a lot to do with Tupac and Biggie coming up dead. But that's who y'all like. Stop acting like y'all wasn't a fan. And I'm not talking about the music. Y'all liked him for who he was. It's like a lot of y'all liked R. Kelly. Y'all still think, oh, because they're black. He ain't coming after you. You black. You a black man. It ain't all about that. You see, because y'all taking God out of it. Y'all bigger than God. And so what it tells us is those of y'all that acting like there are other factors, well, if you're giving ammo to the devil, it's going to use it on you. And that's what Sean Puffy Combs, for one, and has done for himself. Now, O.J. Simpson, writing that book, up to that point, he did nothing wrong, but that was some stupid shit. Whoever convinced him to do that, he ended up in prison. Bill Cosby getting on stage bragging about giving women butterflies and shit, giving them ammo. And then, you know, Bill Cosby was exclusively going after, he didn't go after black women. He was partying with them Jews and white women. You black, Bill. You know, it's a way to do things, but it's power. That's what I was trying to express to y'all. A lot of people don't understand what power is and what power does because they've never had power. They just politically correct and whatever. I know a lot of men, and you might fit this. You're always trying to women please. So in your mind, your whole life is about pleasing women, and then your ego is about pussy pleasing. At what point are you caring about yourself? You get your hair cut a certain way because of women. You wear clothes a certain way because of whatever subgenre of women you like. Men got a serious self-hate and self-sabotage issue going on. But anyway, we're not discussing that. I just wanted to calmly, coolly, without being entertaining or none of that, just calm y'all down about what's going on in the world right now, it being in contention. And that's why I brought up this P. Diddy thing, because it's very spiritual. It's very spiritual.
What we're doing is-
and a lot of people don't want to admit things are spiritual because they're manifesting in the physical, or they're not so positive. There's no such thing as positive and negative and spiritual. That's just a matter of how certain energy vibrations affect you or others. Almost everything is spiritual, so there's a lot going on. But when you look at the nastiness, the top people jealous and fighting each other. When you think about the P. Diddy thing, him being arrested, the whole scam, and you look at the Jeffrey Epstein, everyone's turning on each other. And now you see, like I just showed you in the video, 50 Cent came out condemning, but tell P. Diddy in a little subtle way, but basically he was saying, hey, I'm working with the prosecutors to help bring P. Diddy down. Why? Because he wants the top place. That's why they all have Jay-Z, P. Diddy, and 50 Cent. A lot of people don't know how New York roll. That's how New York is. It's like, who's the top dog in New York? So 50 probably sending that blackmail shit over to Jay-Z. Now, how's this spiritual? Because you get to see how the devils work. The same people that y'all worshiping is devils. How y'all don't know that, it just goes to show how naive you are. Because a lot of these celebs and powerful people, period, political, all that, that's nepotism. So that's the Satan's pyramid structure. You say, what is Satan? Satan ain't what the Christian world or the Judeo religion say it is. It's not. Satan is simply the forces that are regressive instead of progressive, instead of spinning life, creation, love, happiness, empathy, compassion. It's the opposite spin. And it's just like us. It's just like the positive. It's a pyramidical, vertical platform of which it operates on. So those forces of darkness, of wickedness, the Sith, like on Star Wars, the Satan, the devils, the whatever you want to call them, they have minions under them. And they have head Siths over them. So that's why you study this shit. You just don't get entertained by it. You need to peep game on what's going on and what's to learn from it. And that's regardless of what type of politics you're into, what country you're from, or what country you're interested in, what culture you're into. When you see these conflicts and all this stuff and the legal matters, it's there for you to learn from. And you got to get game from it. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I played that video I just played. It's very important. I'm going to play it again. But prior to this, I was talking about Donald Trump. Now I was pointing out, and it's all going to circle back as one. I was talking about how the Trumpsters is all over the YouTube right now, the alternative media especially. And I'm not just talking about small channels. I'm talking about the Young Turks, these big channels. They're going out to these events for Donald Trump, whether Donald Trump's there or not. And all of Donald Trump's people are talking about second civil war. We're about to have a revolution. We got all the guns. We're going to take out everybody. We're going to take the country back by arms, because if he's not president, then it has to be a big lie. It's a big fraud. They're trying to enslave us. You got to understand, there's a big difference between the right wingers and the left. Them people aren't just talking out the side of their neck. They're not. Their threats are valid. They intend on wherever they're at, taking total control. And so if you know about the history, I study international humanitarian law globally, up to even very times now. Once the golden age ended in the planet Earth, you had war. And so what these people plan on doing are being rebel factions. Rebel factions against the United States of America's federal government and the polity and that we of law and order that we are now living in. That's what they're planning on doing. And they're saying it every day on alternative interviews and uncommon news. Now, for whatever reason, the regular news don't allow those interviews to come on any longer. But anytime you see anyone at an event or just in any of those sundown towns in the Midwest or the South, and even in some big cities, whenever it's Trump people being interviewed and there's other Trump supporters around, they yell, the rebellion has started. We got the guns. We're going to win. We're going to take it back by force. These people are crazy. Now, I'm a political atheist. I'm a spiritual devotee, all right? But I'm a political atheist. I don't have I'm not a fanboy. I don't give a fuck for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, Republicans or Democrat. I study political science on 3 continents. I study international humanitarian law. And I'm gonna tell y'all in a lot of damn danger. This ain't no fucking time to be thinking that you wanna be having goals like I'm gonna have this for my career and this shit. If that's all you put your energy to, you think these criminals that you avoiding wherever you at are a threat now? They're not even close to a threat. Law and order, you think them cops gonna have time to help you? Are y'all fucking crazy? I ain't trying to scare y'all at all. I'm just telling you, you better go get or go to the shooting range. You better learn the laws of what you got the right to do and don't have the right to do, and you need to follow those laws. And other than that, just put your gun up. Don't bother with it. Don't worry, don't even think about it, because you need to start preparing escape plan and strategic relocations. I talk about all of this on my O.W.U. That sign behind me on this side right there, that's the logo for O.W.U. O.W.U., the original World Union. I talk about all this and other things in prepping and preparing for the fall. Second Civil War and World War III, of which were upon us. So I don't care how, and I'm especially talking to you spiritual devotees, you super positive people, you empaths. You need to toughen up. You're going to have to be around people you don't want to be if shit hits the fan. You're going to have to be able to get up and leave all that behind. You should have an advantage over others, but not if you weren't prepared. Nothing can be achieved without preparation. That's just the the metaphysical reality we live in. So you got to take some time out to even just prepare if it's not going to, because everything happens incrementally. So I'm not saying that it's going to be a big explosion. A sun flare is going to knock out all electricity. I'm not saying no shit like that. But what I'm saying is there's crazies. So if just particular pockets of the United States go into a civil war type thing where the federal government and the state government got to fight rebels, and it's not your specific pocket area. Like I live in Southern California, right? And if this area is still going to affect you, the cops are still going to say you can't come out after a certain time. You can't do this. These type of businesses have to shut down because they don't want it to spread. So that's why I'm talking about and have people coming on doing lives about this, because everybody not as educated. They're not in the preparing. A lot of spiritual and empaths are in the moment all the time. And that's so great. You guys are keeping up and we are keeping up the good vibes on the planet. I know that. But I'm saying it's time to toughen up. You see what I'm saying? And so because I care about y'all, but another thing is don't ignore some of this shit going on. Even though you're spending more time in nature and being spiritual and helping people, you also have to know what's going on, because the spirit of false accusation is trying to destroy all empaths and spiritual devotees' lives. That's why you need to toughen up. You need to realize that the spirit of false accusation is destroying all historically oppressed people on this planet. The spirit of false accusation is literally tormenting block groups of people on our planet. I don't care who you are. There's someone, especially you're a spiritual devotee and an empath, there's people around you weaponizing the spirit of false accusation against good people around you. They're getting in these scenarios, all these people that have these demonic possessions, these wicked forces, these narfaric, malevolent forces ruling over them and working through them. Their main power and force right now is the spirit of false accusations. There's a lot, especially against good heterosexual men, especially against good heterosexual women. The spirit of false accusation is trying to destroy positive heterosexual men. The spirit of false accusation is being used to destroy positive heterosexual women. But the spirit of false accusation is also trying to destroy the positive and good intentions of all good people. You have to war against this spirit of false accusation. Here's a song I made about it. Gossiper, stop all your lying.
How can we get blessings? Y'all should just go patient. Now that day we're moving, all the black folks can do it.
So that's what I'm trying to get at y'all about. Like, we're in dangerous times, and in dangerous times, the forces of darkness. That means basically what we're dealing with is Repentance Day. Repent from your sins when the gates of heaven open up. Hell's closing in. Repentance Day. Repent from your sins when the gates of heaven open up. Hell's closing in. That's what we're dealing with right now. Any of y'all going through that? Call in 909-446-2388. Right there. That's the call-in number. You know what I'm saying? If you on the David Dimitri Live in Color YouTube, thank you. Subscribe, you know what I'm saying, like, and etc. On the O.W.U YouTube, the Original World Union YouTube, thank you. Subscribe, and y'all need to share these lives because I'm about to start getting deep routinely. And I'm not deep just in spiritual consciousness, but how it applies to life, metaphysical. So I'm not going to be giving you this talking about the stars and astrology and all that. Ain't going to be no hypotheticals. Did Malcolm X hypothetical you? The people that helped you, did they hypothetical you when you grew up? Did they hypothetically feed you? So all these spiritual people y'all love and follow and even being, you need to be able to discern between the hypotheticals versus what's real. So when someone is giving you spinning, ain't nothing wrong with learning astrology. In fact, that's a great rubric to learn how to code. It's codified thinking. That's what astrology is really about. It's codified thinking. But when we can codify thinking as an individual, but we can't be codified in behavior for our group's benefit, something's wrong with us. So we could do astrology, codified thinking, which is really a dumbed down version of astrology. I can go get a book right now that'll blow out any of y'all astrology books. And it's simple, basic. But I say that you are more valuable with your intuition, your subconscious aligned proper, your intuition aligned with your ego consciousness, your soul conscious aligned with your ego consciousness. Once you can master that, that's when you really are bringing value to yourself in the world. That's when you can escape self-sabotage tendencies and tirades, tripping. That's when you don't overreact and underreact. That's when you can see the future coming in your dreams and properly react and respond when you're in that reality in this living world. You see, it gets deep, but we get this knowledge and these teachings, or we become these knowledgeable teachers that don't really benefit the hearers, because it's ultimately about value, which means it's about vibration. What light are you shining? It's according to the light you receive. You see, they tell you eat living food, but you can't have mental poison. Know what I'm saying? Do you even know that you're supposed to be majority soul conscious vibrations, and all your response, reaction, and all your decisions, you're supposed to be consciously competent. That's soul consciousness versus ego consciousness. You see, I give this knowledge, but not in a pretense of a generality or hypothetical. I drop this knowledge that this needs to be applied when you get in your car, when you're driving. Because people drive crazy. Maybe you drive crazy. You need to know how to make them decisions. So when you see this shit going on with these elections, but then you also know Vladimir Putin is ready to drop the bombs. I'm going to run that to you. I'm going to show you something about Vladimir Putin. I'm going to give you a little bit of it because it's necessary. Because if the whole world's at contention, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principality in high and low places. That means we are a principality in a high and low place. So we are who we are. We're like Jedis. We're Jedis. We're fighting the empire. You see what I'm saying? Because it's trying to strike back. That's what that Donald Trump shit is. The empire and all this global neo-Nazism, this global neo-white supremacy. Oh, that's the empire trying to strike back. Because after the decolonization of Africa and Asia, and decolonization of South and Central America, and then you have the civil rights movement, then you had all this knowledge and the information age flowing freely to learn freely. So now those children of those are trying to get back their legacy win. The empire's trying to strike back. But now it's about the empaths, the spiritual devotees, the Jedis, us rising up. But we got to keep our minds, like it or not, also on the concrete. We just can't have our minds in the air trying to play yoga and trying to play sexy, trying to be sexperts, get caught up being gospers. Then we got this stupid ass problem called red flagging. You can't befriend an angel and they can't be an angel to you if you too busy red flagging everybody. And then who are you? You're supposed to be a spiritual devotee, so you're supposed to be giving value to the world, but you're too busy seeing the smallest things about people, so you don't want to fuck with them. You ain't giving nobody a chance to shine your light on them. What good are you then? How are you gonna live your life like that, male or female? You don't give nobody a chance. You so worried about who gonna think and them thinking you and what they told you and how you should be. You losing you not living your life. Quit worrying and being so sensitive. You being your own self-sabotager, your own torment when you become too sensitive. You're supposed to be an adventurer if you're a spiritual devotee. So we touching on things that bring value here. So you should call and you should comment. I'm gonna read your comments, but it is some serious, the world is in contention, y'all. Everything you know is on a thread. Everything that you value. Y'all don't think them people, Donald Trump and them, none of them is gonna kick off. It's gonna be strategic areas if Harris wins. Now I'm not saying Harris and her supporters, because I'm a political atheist. I'm neither supporting either. But I'm a political scientist. I study and taught politics on 3 continents. So I deserve to let you know that I'm a political atheist. But I'm telling you, if Donald Trump and them don't win that, it's going to be spots where the gunplay will kick off. You know what I mean? Where the cops, they are part of them. And if those areas kick off, then even places like where I'm at, Southern California, everywhere going to get affected. You know what I mean? Hawaii will get affected, what's happening here. They're going to start changing the laws. And so that's where we're headed. Because the whole world's in contention. You think that shit going on with Putin? You think Putin's to be played with? They tricked you? You think Kamala Harris or Donald Trump can save you from that? You don't think nuclear war ever gonna happen? You see, we are the light in the world. The animals are. The beautiful plant life. The ocean and all the beautiful life. The energy coming from the stars and the moon at night, the sun, like, that's the positivity. But whether we like it or not, the surface of the earth and the planet itself is in contention. Forces that are not far and that have taken it over the last 4,000 years. And it's at a crossroads right now. The surface dwellers of the earth are suffering. And it's a crossroad. And then you have prophecy. If you're a spiritual devotee, that should mean something to you. And so you got to look at the shit going on as these are the contentions of the world. The shit going on with P. Diddy, like I just showed. The shit going on with Donald Trump and all that, the Putin. Let me play this for you. I'm going to play something for y'all.
Речь идет о том, чтобы принять решение о том, что
If this decision is taken, it will mean nothing less than the direct involvement of NATO countries, the United States and European countries in the war in Ukraine. This will be their direct participation, and this, of course, will significantly change the very essence, the very nature of the conflict. This will mean that NATO countries, the US and European countries are at war with Russia.
Did that for a long
If
time.
this is so,
He did
meaning
that
the
shit.
essence
You guilty
of
as
the
fuck.
conflict changed, we will take the respective
речь идет о том, чтобы принять решение о том, что
If this decision is taken, it will mean nothing less than the direct involvement of NATO countries, the United States and European countries in the war in Ukraine. This will be their direct participation, and this, of course, will significantly change the very essence, the very nature of the conflict. This will mean that NATO countries, the US and European countries are at war with Russia.
Did
And
that
if
for a
this
long
is
time.
so, meaning the
He did
essence
that
of the
shit.
conflict
Guilty as fuck.
changed, we will
Did
take
that
the
for a long
respective
time.
decisions corresponding to the threats we are facing.
речь идет о том, чтобы принять решение.
Okay, so that was Vladimir Putin, one of the most powerful human beings on this planet. People. Speaking that the armament, they're upping the stakes in the Ukraine-Russia war. It's not a protracted, ongoing conflict only. It's an actual pronounced war. The United States of America and Joe Biden, who's about to not be president in just 2 months, somehow had the fucking nerve to allow for a specific type of missiles that could fly from Ukraine all the way to Moscow. And that was Putin saying, if any of these are used to Russia, that is a declaration of war about it from the United States and NATO. You understand? You understand what's going on? I don't think y'all get it. I don't. Because you don't even have time enough to comment or to call in because you're so safe. You feel so safe. Something wrong with somebody like me, right? I already have more plans within plans. Hey, I'm going to be balling. I'm going to be balling if this shit kick off with the second Civil War or World War III. I'm going to be doing better than everybody else because I care and I always have a preparatorial attitude toward life. And that's what I wanted to really do with you guys today. I wanted to show you. This is the guy, Donald Trump's people are severely threatening war upon any conflict, upon any contact, any interview, anytime. Their priority when they all speak, I'm talking about his everyday citizen supporters, the non-black ones, even the white ones, but not just the white ones, but the other non-black Americans. All of them are promising consistently upon all interviews I've seen war. They're promising to pick up arms and to go into protracted military conflict. This, you have to understand, is the time. It makes sense mathematically that this would start kicking off, if you know what that means. And so I want to share something else with you. This one is very important. You know also what else is at stake. Okay, I can do it now. Let's go for it.
But between 1946 and 2000, America is documented to have interfered with.
Okay.
But between 1946 and 2000, America is documented to have interfered with, tampered with, malignly influenced, or outright rigged at least 88 elections from Europe to Latin America to Asia to Africa. So again, if you think that they'll do this everywhere else, but your so-called democracy is pristine, I would have to ask you why you think so. Why would it be more important to the power structure?
Cool. So, what do we understand from
But between 1946 and 2000, America is documented.
just an idea of what we're dealing with these elections? What's pretty clear to me and anyone with good sense is these elections are illegitimate, which gives more power to the potentiality of the second Civil War. You understand where I'm coming from? So you're going to have to make decisions for yourself going forward on where you're putting your attention, because you pay with your attention. You pay with your attention. Are you going to be giving to these general knowledge that bring no value to your life? Are you going to be giving your devotion and paying with your attention to people that give all this knowledge that really has no applicability to your life? To these spiritual beliefs that actually have no benefit or applicability to your life? You can't separate good common sense and mathematical science from spiritual devotion. That mean you would be on the paradigm of hypocrisy and slavery. We're trying to grow out of that, aren't we? Well, you need to give your time and energy and devote with those that are true devotees, which I call ascendants. We are ascending, not we are not ascending only. This is the ascendancy. The ascendancy is a war. It's warfare. War is written all over me. Did y'all really think what you would escapism? You want to get all the money in the world to escape spiritual combat, physical combat? You want to escape suffering in all form? That's what you doing. That's your priority. Or hold on, you praying and hoping for that? Or is that what you're doing? Or is it the drugs? Is that the escapism? Or is it the beliefs? Some fake beliefs? Is that the escapism? We stuck in isms? Aren't we ascendants? Aren't we the evolutionary beings? Aren't we living past this paradigm? We're supposed to be living past this paradigm because we know we're not the second 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional beings only. We know we're not only just four-dimensional beings, spatio-temporal zone, metaphysical consciousness. We living past this. It's not just you pass down to your children and your children's children. It's that you, for your next incarnation. I repeat, for your next incarnation. Don't you want to incarnate in O.W.U? The origin of world unanimity? The next coming golden age? You heard it right and you heard it from me. Don't you want to reincarnate in the times of O.W.U? The next golden age? Be empowered, be empowering. No suffering. Immaculate, incredible living. Even possibly at times, if you want, knowing who you were in your past lives. Well, there's a requirement for you to be able to do that, to achieve that evolutionary living, because we're all promised to pass out of this physical. And I've been deemed with such knowledge of how to evolve. See, because I know I was not incarnated from the past as you and everyone else have been told you were. But there's knowledge that has been hidden. And that is, there are some of us that are incarnated from the future. That's right, we came back from the future, our future self, to do specific messaging, specific prophecy, specific destiny fulfillment work. And you could be that too. Something drew you that are on my YouTube, my O.W.U YouTube. Something drew you to me. I know the mission. I'm here to pass down the mission, to give the vision, but not to fulfill it. You are. We have to be awoke. And you could be one of those that was incarnated from O.W.U, the next golden age. That's right. I lived in that golden age already, but I am now. I incarnated a bit of my soul here to fulfill specific work here. And that is simply to reawaken the chosen ones to this fact. Because once you realize this fact, you're empowered and empowering on such a level that it's like the 100 monkey effect. So many chosen ones, the ascendants, you will be realizing you're an ascendant too. You came here from the future of the golden age, back in time to the time of contentions, to help ensure that that golden age will be fulfilled. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be caught up, infatuated with yoga. That's our past selves did that. Your past self did that. Revolution. We're gonna be social activists. Your past self did that. You're gonna only be an author. Your past self and a speaker. Your past self did that. You're even in fact doing that now. You're supposed to be. But we need to be reawakening. But it's an ascendancy. It's an ascendancy. It's a war of your soul consciousness versus the ego consciousness, and the mass soul consciousness versus the mass ego consciousness. That's what's going on, y'all. I didn't come here from the past. So Ifa, the African spiritual devotion, the Bakongo spiritual devotion, the Ibu spiritual devotion, all those that are based off of ancestralism, there's a hierarchy to those. And when you get to the highest top, they talk about this fact. But that's where prophecy is hidden in those indigenous cultures, the Mayan people. They hide prophecy. Prophecy is a secret, highest priestess level. But I was deemed and chosen and given this to share, like Bruce Lee did, the arts with the world. Well, I'm sharing this with y'all, that it's not what it seems. You're not only supposed to be checking with your ancestors, you're supposed to be checking with yourself in the future. Uh-oh, I just dropped some jewels. Hold on. And on that note, it's love every time. Keep your secrets.